Hey, hey. All right, let's fix this. How's everyone doing? Hi, Ian. Hey, Dave. Yes, I do. I do watch WWE. Hi. So, let's talk, right? If you didn't watch Wrestlemania, I did do like live reaction, like live tweeting while I was watching. I didn't want to do a live show because I couldn't. It was so long. It was so long. I mean, the pre-show started at about my time. I think it was like 6 my time, or even 5 if you watch like the extra that they were doing. That's a long time. I'm doing good. How are you, Gambit? Hey, Wraith. Thank you for subbing. I see you up there. So this is kind of new for me. This not completely new, but sort of. I'm trying to add a little bit extra to the live streaming to YouTube. So bear with me while I get my little bot stuff together. Actually, let me see if this works. Usually I am in other places. See, it's not working. So we'll fix all that stuff eventually. But for now, we're just gonna, this looks good. This looks fine. All right, so I don't know how many of you in chat right now actually watched the show. If you didn't, it's fine. You're gonna get lots and lots of recaps tonight on no working on Raw, because you know how they are. They replay it over and over and over again. But let's talk a little bit about what happened and, what I liked and what I didn't like, I guess. I'm only going to be here for a little bit of time before I have to go and play a scary game today. So if you're interested in watching me do that, I will send a link in the chat. It's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I don't like scary games. But, yeah. All right, so first things first, I don't know if any of you watched the pre-show, but they did have a women's battle royale, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit bothered that the women's battle royale was in the pre-show, because I liked it. I mean, I thought it was really good, and I think that the women's division have been really stepping their game up, and they're really pushing them to kind of be like legit, athletes, as opposed to just like divas. They're cute, they like scream and pull hair and all this nonsense. So I was like, I don't know about this, but it was good. So if you missed it, you missed a good match. And I think it's funny because I think it was actually better than the matches that were in the actual show, the actual Wrestlemania show. So that's saying something. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Evil Within. Yeah. Roman is a bitch? Why? Why does everyone hate Roman? I wanted Becky to win, but I love Naomi won. It's crazy how all these mercs crying about Roman. I don't get it. I don't get the hate on Roman, but we can talk about that in a little bit. The Usos. Okay, this is not in order. I have a really bad memory, so I'm trying to use like a website to see like the card, but this is not in order. So let me try and see here. Oh, I see, because these are like predictions. They had a lot of like...
The grid.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Alright, well, we'll just use this to go in some... This is not in order either, but it's fine. We'll just use this to kind of remind me, how it was. Anyway, so the Battle Royale, there were a lot of NXT women in it, which was great. I don't watch NXT, but that made me actually want to start watching it. The thing about this is that since I'm so busy with streaming, I don't keep up with the week-to-week shows, right? So I kind of like start watching before there's a pay-per-view. Before I used to watch every week, every Raw, every SmackDown, you know, I was there. But now it's like hard to catch everything. So I try and catch recaps, which they have on Hulu. I don't know if you guys know that. And with that, along with like the things that I read online and things like that, I'm able to, and then the promos that they play, which I feel like for this WrestleMania, they were really well done. You can like basically understand the stories. I've been watching WWE for a while, Dave, before I started doing any of this stuff. Best match was Ronda match. You think so? So the Battle Royale was really good. If you didn't see it, maybe you can catch a replay or something. I'd recommend doing that. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, it was okay. It didn't really stick for me, so you know, that's fine. Okay, so the Cruiserweight Championship, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. If you didn't see this, it was also on the Kickoff show. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match. I wasn't too into it just because I didn't really care too much about their, like, you know, their story or anything. But I will say I was super surprised. Actually, I think Mustafa Ali is pretty cool. Like his getup. But I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh man, like that's amazing. You know, it was fine. It was fine. I think that's the thing about the people that they don't push too far. You don't really, it doesn't stick with you, right? And the thing about me is that people were hyping up particular matches and I was expecting a lot from them because people were so excited to see them. And I feel like the ones that people were hyping up weren't that great. I'm sorry to say, but they weren't that great. And it's kind of annoying, right? Because if people are hyping them up, you think that it's gonna be like, oh, these guys are great. And it might not necessarily be the issue that, like, the issue with the wrestlers. Like, them themselves might be good wrestlers, but the matchups, I feel like WWE does this thing where they match people up that don't really work well together, or it seems like they haven't like practiced together, or they kind of just wing it, and it doesn't work that way, you know? Like, it's not gonna mesh if you guys don't have any chemistry. And I don't mean chemistry on like the mic, which is a whole nother thing. I mean like in ring chemistry. There are people who look amazing together, you know? Like they do this thing where, you know, they work well together, their moves go flawlessly, and it's fireworks. It's great. But then there are other people that are just like, you know what I mean? Boo, I'm here. He looked like Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he looked really cool. I'm not gonna lie. See, the thing about that too is that there are people who stand out if they do more, if they do extra, right? If you think about what your costume or what your intro is going to be, everyone will remember you. So yeah, I think it was cool. I want to see more from them, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the next one here is no, this wasn't after that. Okay, so this was the first match. Okay, yeah, I remember this being the first match, right? Yes. So the first match was The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, right? Dude, Finn Balor is so underrated. Is it just me? I feel like he's so underrated. Like, they kind of just throw him around here and there. Like, I feel like he's really good. He's a really good wrestler, and he works well with other people. I feel like they can do so much with him. I don't know what it is about him though, like I don't know what it is that they don't really like. But The Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn, they had an amazing match, and that's what I'm talking about when I mean like in-ring chemistry. They did a really good job of working off of each other's, you know, strengths, and it wasn't like they, you know, only had the benefit of like them three being in there, so, you know, more things can happen, because, you know, that's the thing. If there's more people involved, it's more entertaining because there's a lot going on, more to watch, things like that. They actually took turns showing their strengths, you know? So I think it was I'm gonna say it, I think it was better than a lot of the main events that people were hyping. Sorry to say that, but not sorry. One of my good friends, the Pope Elijah Bursky, tried to get me to watch wrestle back in 2011 for TNA, but after I took a few bumps outside of the ring, I was done. Oh, he tried to get you to wrestle. Nice. Yeah, that's so hard on your body. Hey, who's next? Yeah. I do my blue lipstick sometimes. Since he got injured, he's been held down. Oh, okay. The Miz is pretty good too. The Miz is super like his every time he does these silly little gimmicks, it goes over. Like, people really enjoy them, and he's such a good heel. Like, you just want to hate him, and I love really good heels. I love heels that are like hilarious, you know. So this was a good match. Why it wasn't super hyped up like the other ones, I don't know, but people like who they like, you know. Okay, and the one, I'm trying to remember what was the one after that, but I'm just gonna go with, because they don't have this in order again, I'm telling you now. That was the Intercontinental Championship. The one after that, I think it was the tag team. The Rock was a good heel back in the day, for sure. Let's just go with the, no, that was later. United States Championship. Finn Balor's regular character is boring to me. The demon entrance is cool. Yeah, the demon entrance was definitely cool. He's doing this new thing where it's like inclusion, and I'm not hating it. Like, I like that. I mean, I think it's important for people to like use their platform to, you know, make people aware of particular things. So I'm not hating on that. I'm gonna let him do him, and maybe he'll go back to the demon entrance when he is a heel, you know, if he turns back heel. No? Are you saying no, that's not what was next? All right, forget it. We're not going to go in order. Let's just talk about the ones that were not the biggest, you know, the biggest matches. So let's just do United States Championship. All right, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. Right? All those guys. 4 people. Right? And it wasn't a bad match, but I wasn't super drawn. I wasn't drawn into it. And I don't know if it's I think it's probably because of the story. I wasn't really into the story part. But these guys did a pretty good job. They did fine, you know? I'm super surprised Jinder won. I'm not gonna lie. Jinder Mahal, like, I don't know. I hadn't seen him in like forever. Or at least from what I remember, when I cared. Because I remember when he had his little, like, head, I don't know what they're called, the headdress on, and he would, like, put it in a case before he would wrestle, like, when he was a heel, and he was, like, super, like, annoying, because he would, like, make sure you take care of that kind of thing, and then he'll get in the ring, and then he'll wrestle, you know? Super, like, bougie. But it was cool. It was cool. I think that it's funny how this was in the main show, but the battle royale for the women's battle royale was in the pre-show. Like, I feel like the women's battle royale was better, but what are you gonna do, right? It's Randy Orton, so Rusev should have won, but I guess he's going to chase Jinder for the title, possibly. The match was alright, yeah. Hi, Rec. It was okay at best. Okay, so the Usos versus the New Day versus the Legend Brothers. I freaking love the New Day. I freaking love them. They're hilarious. Right? Is it just me? I love them. Like when he freaking uses the trumpet, he had me dying. And then the pancakes, dead. Like I was laughing the whole time. They're super cool. I like those guys. They bring a lot of like just quirkiness, you know, to WWE, and they're super unapologetic, and I think it's funny. But I don't know if people are gonna get bored of them and that gimmick. I think that those guys so far have been like in terms of, you know, gimmicks and kind of like shenanigans, they've been the ones that have been doing the most, and I'm not hating. I'm loving it. But the Bludgeon Brothers did win. I didn't really care. I really like the Usos too. I think they're really good. But the Usos never really go. They're only gonna go so far because they're a tag team, so there's that. But like, they're fine. They're good. This match was good. I didn't complain. I was fine. I was entertained. And the Bludgeon Brothers, I don't really care too much about them, but they're not bad wrestlers, you know. So it's fine. Let's see. Okay, so, and then we had the Raw Tag Team Championship, The Bar versus Braun Strowman, and to be determined, it says here. But everybody knows who was brought into this freaking ring from the crowd. I was literally looking to see if he was going to get some, like, big dude that was just going to, you know, take him out, like someone that they already had some kind of agreement with, because, you know, WWE is not trying to get a lawsuit. But no, he just went and he got Nicholas from the crowd. I was like, what? He was just like, and then the entire time he was so scared, and he was just holding onto the ring, and he was just like, I thought it was so cute. And then the funniest thing, when he like actually tagged him in to the match, and he's like super trying to get to his hand, and the little boy puts his hands out, and then he goes into the ring, and he just looks at them like backing up slowly. I don't know. I thought it was really cute. I do think that they made the Raw Tag Team Championship a little bit of a joke by doing that. But at the same time, you know, it was cute. You know, they made a kids' day. Like, why not? They can only get good like press from mainstream media. So like, might as well have some fun with it. I mean, I'm not like upset about it. There's a whole lot of serious matches, right? So they can do some fun things. I'm not mad. I think it's cool though that they, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like in the SmackDown I feel like tag team championships are never super serious, right? So in the SmackDown tag team, they had the New Day doing silly things with, you know, pancakes and the silly things they do in ring, and then in this one they did that. So it's like, you know, I'm sure in Raw tonight they're gonna fix it and it's gonna be fine. So, you know, don't worry, everyone that's like super upset. I saw on Twitter people were like, oh, how can they do that? They're making a joke. They're making a mockery out of the championship, all this stuff. And I'm like, guys, just calm down a little. It's fine. Just lighten up. Have a little fun sometimes, you know? All the women's stuff is better to me these days. I tune in for Braun. There's not enough characters these days. Too many regular Joes. Yeah. I'm glad they won. They have characters. The match was a joke. That was a ref's kid? Oh. He didn't need a big dude. He beat them by himself. Exactly. I was going to say that too. That I think it's something to remember, that basically he beat them by himself. So they're pushing him to be like this strong, you know, wrestler. So just look at it like that. That he just did a 2v1 and he won. I didn't know it was a ref's kid though. Too bad it wasn't a random kid. Son of a backstage guy. I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to have an actual random kid come on to the show because lawsuits. You guys gotta remember that. What else? He should be stripped of the titles. What? Why? He has to find someone tonight. I'm sure they're gonna be like, if you don't find someone by tonight, you're going to be stripped of your title. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so what else? I think that's... We did this, we did this. We did this. Okay, so let's talk about Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Who liked this match? I was super hyped to see Daniel wrestle again. I'm not gonna lie. I was like excited because I really like Daniel. I think he's cool, you know? He's not someone that has like a, you know, like a very out of the box character, but he's over. People love him, you know, and that's what makes him him, right? And it's funny how all these years later he's still over. Isn't that ridiculous? Like, he didn't wrestle for like 3 years and people were still just like, yes, yes, yes. WWE fans, you know, they don't really forget. Not always, at least. So that was pretty cool. I think that in the beginning of the match, they had him like out, like, because he got kicked in the head or something, and they had him like on the ground, and all the medics were kind of like looking to him. So Shane was kind of holding his own by himself, which Shane is fine. He's pretty entertaining. You know, he's okay. He's fine. But that part kind of bothered me because I was like, I just want to see Daniel. And I think they knew that, so they kind of played it up that way. And then, you know, he came in and he did his thing, and it was great. But now, what are they going to do with the story? Like, are these guys going to get their jobs back? And because I think Kevin Owens is pretty good, and Sami Zayn is not bad. So, like, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. Okay. The Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Let me just say, Nia Jax is amazing. I love her. She's like, the storyline worked really well. I think that was pretty, it was good. It was a good way to get people interested in it, right? Because they always do that, whether female, male, they're always doing the whole like, oh yeah, I'm going to pretend to be this person's friend, and then they talk about them behind their back, and then the person gets mad, and then the revenge, right? So, but I'm so happy that they gave her the championship, right? Like, she's a beast. And I don't mean like a beast like she's just like big. Like, she freaking messes people up. Like, did you see the way she was throwing her around, and the way she was throwing what's her name? Oh no, brain fart. I forgot her name. I'm so bad with names. Mickey James. Was it Mickey James? Was it Mickey James? I forget. Who came out with Alexa? No one knows? Nia, my God. Shane will turn on Daniel. It won't make any sense, but this is WWE. That's how they'll get their jobs back. Oh, Kevin Owens is a dope heel. I agree. Nia was my main event. I jumped out of my seat and shouted like a little bee after she won. I was so happy. Mickey James. Okay, yeah. So the way she... Dude, I tweeted about it because I thought it was crazy. She like had Mickey James by the hair and threw her against the wall, and like threw her back on the floor, threw her, like, she was just like flinging her little self around. And it reminded me of the Hulk when he throws Loki around like a little rag doll. So I tweeted that gif around, and it was hilarious. I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop thinking she like messed Mickey James up. And I like Mickey James. Mickey James is a pretty great wrestler. And I was just like, bro, yeah, she's dead. All right, and then, you know, Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is amazing heel. She's an amazing heel. She's hilarious to me. They did a really cool intro for her too, which I think was nice because you know who they're trying to kind of, who they're investing in by their intros. You'll realize that about WWE. And Alexa's a really good heel. So I'm glad. I was super happy with this. And the women, I'm telling you, the women are doing amazing. So this was good for me. We'll see what they do with Nia. All right, and then of course we have Charlotte, SmackDown Women's Championship. We have Charlotte versus Asuka. Now, okay, I know people are upset that Asuka didn't win, right? Because she won the last time what was it, the Battle Royale, right? And she won, and people were like, oh, like, wow, what was the point, right? But I think we have to remember that Asuka's really good, yes, and you can tell that the matchup is not there. Like, Asuka's style of wrestling doesn't match with Charlotte's style of wrestling. Is it just me? I feel like Charlotte is kind of like not loose enough. She's a little bit stiff. And Asuka is the opposite. She's not stiff. And so I feel like that it kind of didn't, it didn't like go really well. Their in-ring chemistry wasn't really there, but it was still a good match because they were both really good on their own. Does that make sense? I feel like Asuka does really well with a different kind of wrestler, you know? However, they did a really good job of covering that up by doing like good, really well thought out moves that you usually see the men do. So I didn't mind the match. I liked it. I didn't really care who won just because it's not my, like, the storyline is not there for me. It's just kind of like champion, undefeated person, you know? So it's the typical thing. I really, really like intricate storylines. I know it's fake. I just like that. It's like a novela for me, you know? But yeah, Asuka, they did have to end her streak because, you know, she doesn't have the mic skills, right? Like, she has to work on her mic skills, and it's probably the language barrier, but she has to work on her mic skills so that she can be, I feel like, so that she can be a champion. And I feel like it's the same with Nakamura, but that's someone, we're gonna get to that. Okay, and then of course we have John Cena versus The Undertaker. Oh my gosh, everyone was so hype about this, and I was just like, meh. You know, I was just like, of course Undertaker's gonna come. They're not gonna do all of that drama. John Cena will not be sitting in the crowd watching the show. But why would he be sitting there watching the show instead of making money? It's not happening. So I knew that it was gonna happen. However, I did not expect it to be 3 minutes. Literally, the match was 3 minutes. His intro to get to the ring was longer than the match, I feel like. I'm literally sitting there like, okay, so are you gonna wrestle? Or like, and don't get me wrong, I really liked Undertaker. I don't like John Cena. I'm not a John Cena fan in terms of like in wrestling. Like, I feel like he's fine. Like, you know, he does the movies, whatever. I wouldn't like not go see a movie because he's in it. Like, he's fine. But I don't really like his gimmick as a wrestler, and, you know, whatever. But and I like Undertaker. He's, you know, he's a freaking amazing. But I just feel like they need to let him retire. Just let him retire. His knees are tired. Let him go. We don't need him to be in every WrestleMania. Like, we don't need him to kind of, you know, I know that he has a huge fan base. People love him. People know him. But I feel like WWE does this thing where they hang on to people because they feel like they bring a crowd. And it's okay, WWE. You can let him just let him live. Like, let him go and do his thing, you know? Let him retire. Let him be an old man. His knees are weak. His knees are tired. Like, just stop. Like, all those tombstones that he's doing, it's just bad. You know, I feel weird watching an old man in a ring. fighting a younger man. Like, it's just strange. I don't know. That's just me. And for a match to be 3 minutes, is it worth it? Is it worth seeing your favorite wrestler for like 3 minutes just to do like a weird little like thing there and then that's it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't it make him not what you remember him as? Right? I don't know. I think that if you're gonna retire, you gotta retire at the peak of your career, like, so that your people can remember you as that and you don't have to like go downhill. That's just me. I don't know. Charlotte is a great athlete. I agree. I didn't like how she tapped out so easily. Would have been more to beat Asuka. Well, remember that she was avoiding trying to get into her submission move, right? And when she finally locked it in, it makes sense that, I mean, maybe she could have like lasted a little bit longer, but like it makes sense that she tapped out when she was trying to avoid it the entire match, and she did avoid it the entire match until the very end. I thought it was pretty dramatic that she was like up with one arm because the other arm was hurting her. Like, I thought that was pretty dramatic, but I didn't mind it. Rest in peace, John Cena. Wrestlemania was trash. They had to do that. Taker's getting old, so Cena talked shit. He got smashed fast. Yeah, he couldn't last. I don't think he can last for a while anymore. The crowd chanted, "This is awful." Really? Oh, thank you, Di. It was basically like a Goldberg squash match. Yeah. They chanted, "This is awful" for Roman match. Belushi joined WWE. What? No. All right, let's move on. So yeah, Undertaker, Cena. Like, can we not do that anymore? Thanks. Let him live. Let him live. All right. So of course, we're gonna do the WWE Championship. AJ Styles and Nakamura. I can't say his first name. Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know. Anyway, so okay. I'm aware that these two have wrestled before, and people were like super excited and super hyped because they were like that they're amazing, that their match, that whatever it was, I forgot where it was. New Japan, was it New Japan? That their match was amazing, that they did great. Okay, so I was like, oh, so then this means that it's gonna be good, right? It was fine. It was fine. It was fine for me. It wasn't amazing, and I don't. AJ Styles is a very good wrestler. His gimmick is I don't really care too much about it. Nakamura, he's so funny. Like the way he was coming down the the ramp and his dance moves is hilarious. I love his little quirkiness. But the match itself, it wasn't what I expected. I expected it to be more, because I've seen them do their own thing versus other people, and I thought, oh man, these people are good, right? So you expect when there's two good wrestlers that they can make magic together, but like I'm telling you, sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes the in-ring chemistry is not there, and there were some awkward bits where they were trying to do a move and it kind of like somebody messed up. I don't know who it was, but it just didn't flow. And then so the match was fine. Like I'm not saying it was awful, but you know, like what happens is that people hype it up so much that I have like my bar set up here, and then when it falls short, it's kind of disappointing. So I guess that's what's going on here. But the technical aspect of it, like their skills are there. They're really amazing wrestlers. It's just that they have to add more flair because it's WWE. It's not, you know, these other indie places, or, you know, other places where it's like all about, you know, it's not real is what I'm basically trying to say. And so I don't know, maybe they didn't practice together, maybe they didn't, I don't know, maybe they weren't feeling it. I don't know, something happened, because something was off for me. Is it just me? Are you guys fans and like, you know, You guys felt the same way or what? Because I don't know. I just felt it wasn't really there for me. And also, I understand why they didn't also make him the champion, because again, the language barrier. Like, I don't think that they are ready. Those two are not ready to be on the mic. And as a champion, you have to have mic skills, I feel like, because you'll be talking a lot. So either they need to introduce like a general manager for them to kind of like have someone talk for them, or they need to like, well, you know what would be great? And I know it's like super like playing into stereotypes, but it would be awesome if they have like some kind of like translator, right? Someone who's like super charismatic, amazing on the mic in both languages, and they can have them whisper, you know how they do for people who play baseball? You know, I'm sorry, I'm just referencing baseball because I've been watching it lately, but like people who don't speak English very well, but they understand it, but they don't speak it very well, they have a translator there. And the same thing with Spanish, and the same thing with, you know, all these other languages. And then you can hear, with me, I understand what they're saying in Spanish, and then the person that's translating for them changes it up so that it sounds a little bit different. And not different like a completely different meaning, but just like different in terms of like, it sounds cooler, it sounds better, you know? I think that would be a cool idea, right? That could work. NXT TakeOver was better. Different styles of wrestling between... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There's different styles of wrestling. And someone actually said, like, oh, blame WWE for that. But I don't know if it's WWE's fault. Like, how can it be WWE's fault if there were other matches that were, you know, good? Like, do you think that they told them, like, don't do these moves? Is that what you think it is? I don't know. I found out Nakamura can speak English very well. WWE don't want him to talk like he has a mouth full of hamburger meat. Really? He can speak English very good. I met him in California. He speaks very good English. Really? Interesting. Why are they doing that? Why would they ever do that? That's the dumbest thing ever. Why would they? I mean, I don't doubt that they speak more English than they're letting on. But is he charismatic? Do you know what I mean? Mic skill is not really needed. Orton is an example of that. Yeah, but look, Orton is different. Orton is different. You know why? Because Orton has his gimmick. His gimmick is that he doesn't speak much. That he, you know, is this like, you know, he has voices in his head, and, you know, he doesn't really talk to people. So he's like a loner. So like that's his thing. So it makes sense. If it makes sense, it works. Like, yeah, he's not great on the mic, obviously. He's no, like, you know, The Rock. But he says what he has to say, and that's it. He doesn't really, like, go into, like, these promos and speeches and stuff. And then when they do, like, the promos, they do him, like, in a dark light, or, like, you know, I'm gonna get you. And, like, he stares at the camera, like, all, like, sultry-like and stuff, you know? So it works for him. Orton doesn't really have mic. I wouldn't say he has like mic skills. He's all right on the mic. He barely says anything. He just like talks, and that's it. He's not like, oh, you know, everyone doesn't go crazy when he says things. It's because WWE and their stereotypes. Damn, that's annoying. Okay, so what I do want to mention though is that at the end of the match, I was like, okay. But as soon as he did his heel turn, I was hype as hell. I was dying. He like, first of all, because at first I was confused why he like got on his knees to give him his, you know, and I was like, oh, it's a sign of respect. Okay, I guess I get it. But then he like hit him, and I was like, what? And then he started kicking him, and the way he was kicking him was so just like, like, you know how you kick like a like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like he was kicking like nothing. Like he was kicking like a little, you know, I don't know, like a little bug, squashing a bug or something. He was just like kicking him with such disrespect. I thought that was hilarious. So as soon as that happened, I was like, yes, okay, interest peaked again. We will see what happens tomorrow. So that was interesting. Okay, let's move on. All right, we have the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. What did you guys feel about this? Because again, this was another match that was super hyped up, super popular. Everyone was talking about it. So I was just like, okay. And it was just, and again, the in-ring chemistry is just not there. Like, here's the thing. Brock Lesnar does like 3 moves, right? Suplex City, F5, and then like maybe he'll like punch somebody here and there. And I'm just like, okay. Like, what is he doing? Like, why doesn't he move more? He does it. He walks around. He's like, hey, 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 hey. He does it again. He walks around. He's like, hey, 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 hey. You know? And I'm like, at first it was like, oh, snap, this guy's a beast. Like, he doesn't really have to do much because, you know, like, he's a beast. But after a while, this is like what, I don't know how many times he wrestled, but this is just, it's getting old. Like, I thought he would have more, do a submission move, do something. Like, didn't you learn anything in freaking UFC? Like, what is this? So I'm kind of bothered by that. And I've been saying this for a while. So there's that. And then, like, I feel like with Roman, of course, people hate him because people are mad that the WWE is pushing them, whatever. But I don't understand why people feel that way if WWE is also pushing Brock and no one has a problem with that. The simple fact that he only comes around every, like, so often and WWE is giving him a huge push because they're paying him lots of money. No one cares. So that's silly to me. But I just feel like Roman and him aren't necessarily a good matchup. Roman is he's a good wrestler, but I think that WWE is like dumbing him down, and they're doing the whole John Cena factor where they kind of just like, oh yeah, okay, you're gonna get beat up, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get super strong, and you're gonna be like Superman. You're gonna come out, you're gonna do all your moves, and then you're gonna beat him. Yeah, and I'm like, no one likes this. No one likes that. Why do they do this? They do that with a lot of people too. Like, they kind of, like, the finishers, yes, they're finishers, right? But don't do this thing where all of a sudden they did their finisher and that's it, it's over. Oh my God. Like, it's just not, it's too predictable. It needs to be shaken up. It needs to be, you know, done differently. I don't really like that. I like when they throw surprises in there. I don't like seeing the same old thing over and over again. So I know people were mad because he kicked out of like 5 F5s, and it's just like, yeah, but the F5 doesn't even look like it hurts or anything. Like, it doesn't look that serious to me. And I'm like, why is everyone so upset? If I don't understand, it's mind-boggling to me. Like, you can't be upset that Roman kicked out of 5 F5s, but then also not be upset that Brock is only doing F5s. Like, what? Make him do something else. How about that? That's just me. I don't know. I feel like if they pair Brock up with someone who's like fast, who's high flying, who kind of like, you know, maybe so that they can add some flair to it, and then kind of like switch it up a little bit so that Brock looks more like he's trying a little bit more. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Okay. Loved it. Crushed his head like a coconut. Part-time bullshit is annoying. Roman has only 3 moves. Roman does not only have 3 moves. Do you not remember when Roman was fighting with the Shield? He has more moves. The issue is that I feel like WWE is dumbing him down. That's my issue. Strowman would have been in that match. The fans would have been happy. Why does everybody like Strowman so much? He's another one that kind of just... Why do they do that with the big guys? With the big guys, they do this thing where they're just like, yeah, you're strong, you're big, so you don't have to do much. You can just kind of like punch somebody and, you know, they'll be, you know, just like, boom, bam, you're big, you're scary, you know? Like, I don't know. They need to not do that with big guys. There are big guys who can do amazing moves. Like, don't do this stereotype crap. Like, make it more interesting. It's his gimmick. Oh, I don't like it. I like old school Brock, to be honest. Vince keeping Roman face, it sells merch. I mean, I think Roman going heel would be pretty good. Wouldn't be surprised if Brock drop it tonight. Oh yeah, Brock re-signed with WWE today. Ah, Blue, this is WWE. What are you talking about? Things will never change. I mean, things can change. Things can change. F5 hurts for real, actually. Shit hurts your stomachs if you don't block it. If you tuck, it won't hurt. And the ring is not concrete. Vince could have done the same thing with somebody like... Who? They would sell just as much merch. NXT Roman had moves. Don't damage control for Roman. Blue, he's trash. He has no charisma. Only thing he has is looks. You're such a hater. Why are people such haters? Y'all just mad because he's pushing, he's getting a push from WWE. Ever since everyone read the dirt sheets about like him winning, everyone's just been freaking out on Roman. He has no charisma, and Brock does. Explain. Brock has charisma because last I checked, he has someone talking for him, and that's for a reason, papito. So don't stop it. You're a hater. Let's be real. Let's talk about the actual things that are happening here. Vince loves the big guys. I know, but he messes them up. Like, I understand him being like, oh yeah, the big guys, like they're strong, like they look, you know, they look big in the ring and blah blah blah, but he's messing them up because he's limiting them, you know? Strowman has charisma. Strowman has charisma, yes. He does. He has better mic skills than Roman. However, I don't think Strowman has... I think that if Roman was able to do more, his style of wrestling is better than Strowman's. Does that make sense? Roman is boring when he touches the mic to sound like a copy of Cena. That's what I'm telling you. I feel like they're making him into Cena. And I'm just like, why? Tired of people damage controlling. If he wanted to do more, he'd do more. Like Brock. That's not how this works, buddy. What are you talking about? I'm gonna stop responding to you because I think you do this thing where you like say things to kind of like stir the pot. Like, that's not how this works. You really got to see FCW. NXT Roman, that guy was cool. I know. That's why I'm saying, like, what are they doing with him? But whatever. Let's be honest. You like Blue because of his looks. What he does. What? What does he do so special? First of all, I don't think Roman's attractive. So let's get that out of the way. I'm saying what I feel about lots of people. What? Let's not do this. Like what? That's like me saying you guys are just mad because he's good looking and you don't want a good looking guy to succeed. Like, if I say that, what would you say? Stop it. I'm a realist. Fucking looks is all he has. Brock has no charisma either, but his moves tell a story. His moves tell a story? What the fuck story does his moves tell? That he can throw you? What the hell? Alright, we're done. Anyway, let's move on to Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I'm not gonna lie, I was entertained by this match. I think they did a good job of hyping it up. And I think they did a good job of not disappointing when it came to Ronda. Now, Stephanie, I don't know what the hell. Like, I know that they put it out there that Stephanie's not a wrestler. So, like, yeah, it's fine. But she's so good at being a heel. Like, you want to hate her. So, like, I enjoyed it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. But I feel like this was fun. It was funny. I I did notice a few times where I was like, yo, she's gonna kill her. Like, for real life kill her. Like they missed the mistakes that I noticed were just like I was scared for their lives. And I know that they're hurting right now because everybody fudged up a whole bunch of shit that was going on there. I don't know what they needed to calm that down. But it was super entertaining. It was super entertaining. And Ronda's not a bad wrestler. Like, she needs to work on her technique a little bit, and I'm sure that that'll come with, you know, more practice, but she's not a bad wrestler. I mean, she did screw up a few times and like actually hurt them. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I think she did a pretty good job of holding back, and I think they did a pretty good job of like stringing out the you know, the Stephanie holding her hand so she doesn't get put in the submission move, and then like Ronda using her shoulder to get her out and then finally get her in, and she's just like tap 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 tap. Like, I don't know, I think Triple H, I know that it's annoying because they're like, of course they had to put themselves in the match with Ronda, like, but Triple H and Stephanie do a really good job of making it entertaining, and that's what's kind of important in here, you know, right? Like, we need some entertaining matches and not just only technical matches. So that's me. People were hyped. The crowd was hyped. People were like screaming. Like, they did a whole bunch of like silly running around the ring and stuff like that, and like, you know, definitely like messing up like cheating and all that, and then the screaming back and forth between all of them. Like, it was entertaining, so I'm not mad at it. I thought it was good. That's just me. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know. And I think yeah, I think the lineup was a little off. I think they should have mixed it up a little differently, because there were like good ones, and then you know, the good one, and then like at the end. And I feel like people might have fallen asleep, and that's never good. You should save a lot of your, like, you should save the really good one for like the end. And I don't think the Brock and Roman one was like, I don't know, but maybe they thought it would be amazing and then it just didn't. Whatever, who knows. All I know is that that's how I felt about each match. And I'm gonna be streaming a game tonight, but I'm gonna probably try and like watch a little like here on the side while I'm playing. We'll see, because I want to know what they are gonna do with these storylines. I'm like super excited. Or I might watch the recap tomorrow, but who knows. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me, and thank you for hanging out in the chat, everyone. I appreciate all of you for coming through, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit more. I mean, why not? You guys seem entertained by it. And that's all, folks. I will see you later. Remember, if you want to come see me play a scary game, just click there, and I will be there in like half an hour. Oh no, not half an hour. I'll be there in like a few minutes. It's already 7:30. Ah! Oh man, this is all right. All right, I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy. All right, make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you hit the little bell so you can get an alert when I do go live or when I post videos. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.